"Welcome, daughters of wealth," her voice echoed as the girls walked in. "The moment you stepped into this hut, poverty was washed away." In the heart of Lekki stood a beautiful salon which only accommodated the rich, the influential, and the mighty people in the society. Though this salon was meant for the rich alone, the workers were average and everyday people. Among these workers were 3 beautiful young women, Amara, Chidima, and Nkechi. Though from different families and backgrounds, their paths met in the quest to earn a living and better their lives and that of their families. This brought them working in the salon. Working at the deluxe salon has further added to their quest and dreams of making it big someday, as they get to see different rich people, both young and old, coming in every day to take care of themselves in the salon, spending huge money on pedicure, body massage, facials, and many other skincare routine.
Now wow, who say money no good? Look at that small girl, whom I'm very sure I senior, spending almost 500k at once just to take care of her skin,
Chidima said, referring to one of their regular customers while they were on the table taking their lunch break one afternoon.
"Girls, forget, money is good,"
Nkechi said.
"The thing it can't be like say we escort some people come this life. In my next life, anything we go make them born me poor, it better make them not even born me at all, because this no be life."
Amara chipped in agreement with Nkechi and Chidima.
You and who is waiting for next life before becoming rich?
Chidima asked, looking at Amara.
"Well, while you are waiting for your next life to become rich, my own next life is right here with me," she added.
Finally, they finished their lunch break and went back to work, but Chidima's mind has been in turmoil ever since then. She has always had this desire to become rich, no matter what it takes. But ever since she managed to finish secondary school through the efforts of her widowed mother, nothing seems to be working out for her. She merely came across this salon work and was lucky to get hired after a brief training. Working at the deluxe salon has further resurrected her desire to make money at all costs, as the salon was always filled to the brim every day with different calibers of rich people spending their money like it's been picked up from a tree. Among their unending customers, there was one particular lady known as Amy. Amy happens to be a social media influencer, a young girl of age 24 who is known for displaying wealth on social media for a living. Rumor has it that she was from a wealthy home, but those who knew how she started on social media refused to accept her being from a rich home and often questioned the source of her wealth. Amy was a regular customer at the deluxe salon and visited twice every week just to take care of her skin and thereby spending big money. This caught the girls' attention, and Chidima couldn't hold herself anymore and suggested they talk to Amy to teach them how to make money from social media.
"See, girls, I think we should ask Amy to teach us how to make money," she began. "I mean, look at her. She is young, rich, and famous. I follow her on all social media, and I really want to be like her,"
Chidima continued.
"But do you think she will agree to help us? What if she reports us to Lady K? I don't want to lose this job I'm managing, even though it's not enough to pay my bills. But at least it's better than nothing,"
Nkechi chipped in with fear.
"How about you, Amara? Are you not saying anything? Or are you still waiting to become rich in your next life?"
Chidima asked in a mocking tone.
"Please, don't start now. In as much as I wish to make money and live well, don't you guys think it's a bit dangerous to just approach Amy like that? We don't even know exactly what she does for a living other than displaying luxury on social media. But here we are, talking about being like her."
The girls went on and on, fantasizing how they will become so wealthy and deal with money for all the suffering they have suffered in the past when they finally make money. At the end, Nkechi and Chidima agreed to meet Lady Amy and beg her to teach them how to become like her. Amara was too scared of things going wrong, and so she decided not to join them. To her, she believed in working diligently and making money the right way, even though she despised how she and her families were suffering. She said to herself that she will never involve in anything that will bring disgrace to her family. Finally, it was on a hot sunny afternoon. Lady Amy, as usual, came to the deluxe salon to treat her skin to some goodness. Nkechi and Chidima decided it was time.
Please, ma, we admire you so much and wish to be like you someday,
Chidima said while they were carrying Amy's things to her car. Amy smiled and said,
"Why wait for someday to be like me? Why not now?"
she added, looking at the surprised Chidima. Chidima, who was scared of being scolded from the beginning, was surprised at the statement.
Ma, please don't be angry. We just like the way you live, how you take care of yourself and spend money. We don't mind if you can show us the way. We will really appreciate you,
she added, almost scared to her wits.
Come on, girls, drop the Martin. If I'm not mistaken, we are all age mates. The only difference is that you are poor and I'm rich. But don't worry, I'm ready to teach and show you the way as long as you are ready to be like me,
Amy added. This made the girls so excited and they screamed in joy. Before leaving, Amy gave them a complimentary card and invited them to her house. Their joy knew no bounds as they went about displaying the cards on Amarachi's face all through the day. Finally, it was the D-Day. Nkechi and Chidima used their savings to get expensive clothes, shoes and hairs just to fit in to be in Amy's presence. On getting to the address on their invitation cards, they were so shocked to even see that Amy was richer than they even knew. She owns a whole estate to her name, Amy Makinde's estate. They have been hearing and seeing the estate, but never knew a girl of their age owns it. This motivated them more to want to make this money quickly, even by all means. Finally, after showing their invitation cards and being ushered into the house, they opened their mouth wide in bewilderment at how magnificent the interior of the house is. They have never seen anything like this, not even in movies. At some points, they even had to pinch themselves to be sure they were still on earth because the whole thing was magical and heavenly. While they were still in their world of fantasies, Amy came in without them even noticing.
"You are welcome to my home,"
her voice startling them, which ended up bringing them back to reality. They quickly comported themselves, but couldn't hide how amazed they were at such a magnificent house.
"Your house is so big. I have never dreamt in my life that I would ever step foot into such a place. I bless the day I met you,"
Chidima said while kneeling in appreciation, signaling Nkechi to join her. Amy laughed at their timidness, but asked them to go ahead and make themselves comfortable. She called out maids who attended to them by serving them rich wines. Finally, it was time for them to discuss the business of the day, the reason for this meeting.
"So, girls, you said you like all you are seeing and would want something like this for yourselves?"
Amy asked again to be sure. They couldn't even wait for her to finish asking before they both chorused a loud yes.
"Fine,"
Amy continued.
5 years ago, I was like you both. In fact, my case was even worse. At least, you girls could afford to buy the hairs and clothes you are wearing. What if I told you girls that to even get to see food to eat then was a big problem? My parents were so poor that they could barely feed us. I struggled to finish secondary school, after which I decided to go out there to hustle to support myself and my family. But guess what? Almost anywhere I go to look for a job, the men would want to sleep with me. To my surprise, even the women who want to do the same. At first, I rejected them all because of my upbringing, but then hunger was dealing with me. So I thought to myself, if sleeping with me is all it was, then why not? As long as I get money from them. Well, that is it, girls. Are you still interested now that you know the true source of my wealth?
Amy asked, looking at the girls who had been listening so attentively as if listening to a teacher in class.
If that is all, then it's just a small thing. After all, we are no more virgins. We have been doing the same thing for free.
Chidinma, the mouthpiece, quickly chipped in.
How about you, Nkechi? You seem to be very quiet.
Amy asked.
Chidinma already said everything, and I totally agree with her.
Nkechi said in response to Amy's question.
Well, your guess is correct. That is not all. It's not just all about sleeping with them and then we start pumping money out. After all, no be gold I carry between my legs now,
Amy said jokingly but seriously.
Now, here is the big deal. There is a place I will take you girls to, and there is something to be done. Once that is done, any man who comes across you or has something to do with you, whatever that man makes in his life, 90% of it becomes yours automatically. Let me know whenever you have made up your mind and are ready to go,
Amy said, and was about to walk away, but was stopped by the sudden voice of Chidinma.
We are ready to go right now. I mean, what is the need for time wasting? After all, we aren't killing anyone. Rather, we are just taking a little of their earnings,
she added.
Please, if possible, take us there right now. We want to start seeing this money as soon as possible,
Nkechi added. Amy, seeing how desperate and prepared the girls were, was happy. In as much as she wants to help the girls, she was also happy that she will be making money off them too.
All right, you can go back home and come back tomorrow. But if you wish, you can stay back in the guest room. Then we go tomorrow at night,
she said as she walked majestically into the other part of her mansion. Chidinma and Nkechi couldn't hide their joy. On their way home, they talked happily on how they will soon become rich and paint the town red. Poverty has really dealt with them. Soon, it was the evening of the next day, and again they were back in the magnificent Amy Makinde's luxury estate. This time, they felt a bit more comfortable after spending almost the whole day here yesterday. When they got to the house, they waited for Amy till about 9 p.m. before she got back from wherever she went.
Girls, sorry for keeping you waiting. Let me go in and freshen up and we would leave immediately,
Amy said as she walked out of the living room. Soon, it was time and they drove to the outskirts of town, a secluded area that on the norm, it would be difficult to know that such kind of place existed in the town. The girls, though shocked and surprised, were not afraid as Amy already told them all what they were going for. Finally, they got to a small hut where they met an old woman sitting in a dimly lit hut.
Welcome, daughters of wealth,
her voice echoed as the girls walked in.
The moment you stepped into this hut, poverty was washed away, and in the generations to come, people will hear of your names,
she added while signaling them to sit on the wooden stools arranged in the corners of the hut. Chidinma and Nkechi looked around the hut a bit scared, but seeing that Amy was so comfortable, they decided to put away their fear. Soon, the whole ritual was done and they left the hut. According to them, it was even more simple than they thought. They were not asked to give nor sacrificed anything, but if only they knew. Gradually, they started living large, using social media influencing as a front to cover up the source of their wealth. They now go shopping in high-end luxury shops, visiting luxury salons and driving expensive cars. Their lifestyle started making all the young girls wish to become social media influencers, thinking it was a lucrative business. They both decided to leverage their beauty and charm to attract wealthier men. It started innocently enough with visits to upscale clubs and parties where they caught the attention of affluent bachelors and married men alike. The men lavished them with gifts, money, expensive dinners. For Chidinma and Nkechi, it was intoxicating. Their exploits quickly escalated. They began seeking out wealthier and more influential targets, using their wits and looks to get what they wanted. It wasn't long before they started causing problems. Marriages were strained and relationships were broken as these desperate chicks used their allure to manipulate their way into the lives and wallets of their targets. The girls began using the charms on their targets. The results were immediate and astonishing. Men showered them with unimaginable wealth, luxury cars, jewelries, and even properties. They reveled in their newfound power and influence, their dreams of a lavish lifestyle becoming a reality. Nkechi, with her charm, hooked a prominent politician who funneled large sums of money to her, while Chidinma captivated a successful businessman who left his family for her. As their influence grew, so did the chaos they caused. Families were torn apart, businesses suffered, and the social fabric of their community began to fray. The once quiet neighborhood where they lived was now abuzz with scandal and gossip. Friends and relatives of their targets began to notice the strange behavior of the men and started investigating. Despite the mounting tension, Chidinma and Nkechi remained unbothered. They believed they were untouchable, protected by the powerful charms they had acquired, unknown to them what Emmy had done. On several occasions, they visited the Lux Salon where Amara was still working diligently. There, they spent money to the amazement of all who once knew them. They often gave Amara money and other material things and mocked her for refusing to change her life when she had the opportunity, but still offered to help in case she changes her mind someday. But Amara never allowed her friends and former colleagues' sudden wealth and affluence get in the way of her value. They continued in their luxury lifestyle amidst the chaos they were causing until trouble came calling. One day, while Nkechi was in the home of Chidinma as they prepared for a party, she received a devastating news. Though she had relocated her families to the city, they were not staying in the same house. She bought them a house in another part of town where she often goes to visit them.
Sister Nkechi, we have lost Mama.
A sad and teary voice came over the phone. Nkechi couldn't believe what she just heard because her mother was not sick, nor did she complain of anything prior to this call.
What happened to her?
She finally found her voice to ask the caller.
Nothing happened to her. We all finished eating dinner and she said she was tired and wanted to sleep. Then she went to her room. After some time, I went to wake her up to remind her of what she said she wanted to do, but she wouldn't wake up. She was rushed to the hospital. There, she was declared gone.
The voice over the phone narrated amidst tears. Nkechi couldn't understand anything but cried. All she was doing was for the comfort of her family. Chidinma tried as much as she could to comfort her. Few weeks later, Chidinma received her own breaking news. Her only brother and sister lost their lives in a ghastly motor accident. Their world, which was beginning to seem perfect, came crashing before their own very eyes. Soon, they began to ask questions, wondering if the old woman's hut they visited for purification had anything to do with the sudden losses in their families. They decided to pay Amy a visit.
Please, Amy, is there anything you are not telling us?
Chidinma began.
I don't understand your question. What do you mean, is there anything I am not telling you?
Amy retorted.
Please, there is no need to hide anything from us anymore. We are already in this. We have been losing family members one after another, and it's beginning to look somehow. Does this have anything to do with it?
Nkechi added. Amy, seeing that she couldn't hide the truth from them anymore, decided to come out plain.
Well, the sudden losses in your family has everything to do with your sudden wealth. Where have you seen anything come easy and free before?
She added.
You were so desperate to make it big that you never bothered to seek back and ask yourself questions. So I simply leveraged on your desperation. The thing is, I was losing family members too. But the moment I brought you girls in, the losses in my family stopped while it started happening in yours. This simply means if you two can bring others, then the losses in your own family will also stop, while it will start and continue in the families of the people you will bring, and the cycle continues.
This revelation brought shock to Nkechi and Chidinma. They thought they had finally left poverty for good, but now this revelation has come to haunt them for the rest of their lives.
Oh, lest I forget, you cannot opt out because the end will be you losing your own life too.
Amy chipped in. This further brought shock and fear to the two girls, and they wonder what they have gotten themselves into. They left devastated and completely confused as to what next their line of action would be. The fear of them losing more family members was on their neck, and the loss they already had was haunting them day and night. Sleep became a thing of the past for them, and the wealth they have acquired, which was supposed to give them happiness and fulfillment, became their worst nightmare. They began on the quest to bring in new girls in order to redeem themselves and their remaining family members. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Amara, who had been working diligently in the salon, had caught the attention of one of the rich women, Iya Folake. Iya Folake was a very popular and influential woman. She has chains of businesses all over the city and in different parts of the country. She has been frequenting the salon for years and had noticed how well behaved and good charactered Amara was. This prompted her to take a liking to her. One day, after she was done with her activity in the salon, she called Amara aside and gave her a complimentary card, asking her to call her for a meeting. Amara, though excited, was still cautious, but knowing who Iya Folake is, she calmed down a bit. Finally, she went out to have a chat with Iya Folake in an upscale restaurant. While they helped themselves to the mouth-watering dish, Iya Folake asked Amara questions about herself, wanting to know more about her. Amara respectfully told her everything she needed to know about her, trying as much as possible not to appear desperate nor paint her family bad. Iya Folake, after listening to Amara, she was impressed. She went ahead to tell Amara that she liked how hardworking she is and would love to help her further her education so she could be open to better opportunities in life. Amara was excited and happy that her diligence was about to pay off, but she never failed to ask questions.
Thank you so much, ma. But please, how will I pay you back? Because I don't have anything to use in paying back this huge favor of yours,
she added innocently. Iya Folake laughed in a mild but friendly tone.
Who is asking you to pay back anything?
She asked.
I am doing everything just to appreciate you and to let young girls know that there is still reward for diligence. It may not come almost immediately like many do think, but at the end, it will always come,
she added, making Amara a bit more relaxed. Soon, Amara was enrolled in one of the most prestigious universities in the country, courtesy of Iya Folake. She was provided with everything needed to study without any stress. All she was advised to do was take her studies seriously. Meanwhile, Nkechi and Chidima were still struggling with getting new converts to avert losses from their families. What seemed like an easy task was becoming more and more difficult by the day, as they would not come across anyone as desperate as they were. This gave them sleepless nights, and they were becoming shadows of themselves. Their wealth was becoming meaningless, and they started questioning their choices once again. All efforts to get new converts were unsuccessful, and warnings were beginning to come. They were to lose other family members soon if they wouldn't bring in new converts. They heard about the new life Amara was living. This further added fuel to their regrets. They wished they were more patient and listened to Amara when she advised them. But the reality of their action brought them back to their present predicament.
What are we going to do?
Nkechi asked, while they were both seated and languishing in thoughts and regrets.
I can't afford to lose more members of my families, and it seems like getting new convert is almost impossible,
she added, directing her question to Chidima.
Why are you asking me as if I have found solution to my own problem?
Chidima thundered back at Nkechi.
But you always have solution to everything. Moreover, you talked us into this.
Nkechi fired back. They started arguing, playing the blame game. This brought more tension as they ended up quarreling. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, and then years, and their problem continued. They ended up losing more family members, and their lives became a nightmare. Meanwhile, Amara was done with her education and now working in one of the outlets of Iya Folake's chains of businesses. She met many influential people and became a household name herself. She also got to meet Iya Folake's only son, Adekunle, and they started a relationship, which seems to be the original plan of Iya Folake. She wanted her son to marry a homely woman who will bring him peace and help him grow the family wealth, instead of some untrailed and materialistic woman who will end up destroying her only son and their labor of many years. Seeing them starting a relationship on their own without her talking them into it gave her immense joy and fulfillment. 2 years later, Amara and Adekunle got married. They had a fairy tale wedding, the type that had social media talking about for months. As Amara sat in her luxurious sitting room, she couldn't believe how all the things she thought she could never have in this lifetime were finally given to her on the platter of gold. She was grateful to God who saw through her pains and hard work and decided to reward her with so many blessings. She wished her friends made better choices too, because the last time she saw them, their appearance was nothing to write home about.